Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching Army of the Dead, directed by Zack Snyder and starring Dave Bautista. Now, you may remember that Zack Snyder made a remake of Dawn of the Dead back in 2004, and while it may not be on the same level as the George Romero classic, basically nobody will deny that it's a fun time when it comes to characters that we actually grow to care about, and zombie gore effects that, honestly, I think still hold up today. So when it comes to a zombie movie made 17 years later, and this time taking place in Las Vegas, it definitely feels like the closest thing we're going to get to a proper film adaptation of Dead Rising 2. But let's get to the story, shall we? The story is that after a zombie outbreak takes place in Las Vegas, and before the government is set to put a nuclear bomb onto Las Vegas, essentially wiping out the city and all of its inhabitants from the face of the earth, Dave Bautista is hired to essentially get $200 million out of a vault underneath the city. So he needs to get a ragtag group of mercenaries together in order to get into Las Vegas, get the money, and get out, while all these other characters have their own reasons for getting into the city to either get that money or to help save people who might still be alive inside a city ruled by zombies that actually do have some modicum of intelligence. But that's all I'll say about the story without spoiling anything. One thing that I really like about this movie is it feels like an homage to a lot of the great zombie movies and zombie games of the past, especially when it comes to the various types of zombies that are throughout the film. There are the slow, shambling zombies like George A. Romero's kind. There's the really fast zombies like the ones from 28 Days Later. And there's, of course, the zombies with intelligence that kind of remind me of the final boss of Dead Rising 4. Not just the main alpha zombie who ends up being the main antagonist, but also his queen and a couple of other zombies that actually do have intelligence. They don't talk, of course, but they are able to lead the lesser infected around, which does make for some pretty cool action scenes. Though there is a fair amount of build-up before we get to said action. The opening credits, done to the tune of Viva Las Vegas, are really fun, and they do happen to essentially feel like the Zombieland opening credits when it comes to their use of music and tons of gore and violence to an irreverent tone. But for about 30 to 40 minutes after the opening credits, it's a lot of build-up before we even get into Las Vegas. It can feel like it's a bit much, especially since the film is 2.5 hours long. I would have cut some parts of it out and made it 2 hours or, just a little under 2 hours. But then again, this isn't the most drawn out I've felt when it comes to a Zack Snyder movie. Because when we do finally get to the city, the action absolutely makes up for it. And it doesn't end up being a total action fest throughout the whole thing, too. There's moments of drama between the characters, and even for a group of mercenaries, you do grow to like most of them, especially Dave Bautista's character, Scott, his daughter Kate. Their family drama actually got a little bit of a reaction out of me. Plus, there's this really funny German guy named Dieter who shows up to be the safecracker, and he gets a lot of laughs. In fact, the whole cast has really good chemistry with each other. However, basically my only issues are that it's a little bit too long when it comes to the overall length of the movie, and I do think that the ending, while emotionally impactful, does feel like it drags too. Especially when it comes to one gag that is a good gag, but it does feel like it took a little too long to build it up. But as far as being a fun zombie movie goes, it's definitely one that not only hits on topical themes and actually has some good drama, but has the action and bombastic energy that you'd expect from Zack Snyder. That's why I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. See you next time.